Oh, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the GXWrestleCast. We're on episode 212 of my wrestling recap show, and we got a double pay-per-view review, PLE review for you. We got NXT/AAA's Worlds Collide and WWE's Money in the Bank pay-per-view, PLE review. Let's get into it. We're starting off with Worlds Collide, which is the NXT AAA. This is the first one that they have done together since WWE just recently purchased AAA. Let's get into this. They're in Los Angeles, and we got Mexican and American anthems are sung. Cool. And then Rey Mysterio delivers a nice speech. Gotta love that. You gotta have Rey Mysterio here. And then on commentary, you got Conan. Oh, yeah. I love Conan, man, especially TNA with LAX and stuff. Man, I was so into TNA at that time when LAX was running wild. So I love to see Conan here. And you got Corey Graves on commentary. And we start the show with trios tag team action. It is Aerostar, Octagon Jr., and Mr. Iguana, who I love, by the way, versus LWO's Dragon Lee and Del Toro plus Dorado. All right. Iguana using his iguana puppet for funny shenanigans. I'm all about this guy's like fucking green from head to toe. His face is all green, and he's got this iguana puppet that he uses, and he's throwing it around and acting like it's real. It's freaking awesome. I love that. Aerostar Tornado, a triple dive with Dragon and Del Toro. We get funny rolling pin attempts. Dorado hits the puppet iguana with a standing Spanish fly. He's like dropping elbows on it. I fucking love that. I was dying. Thumbs up for that. Aerostar, awesome torpedo dive followed by Del Toro's mega tornado. My goodness. Thumbs up. Octagon, super backflip slam, grabs the win for AAA. Yeah. Awesome way to kick off the show. I loved Mr. Iguana. Very, very entertaining gimmick. I love this guy. And no doubt he is super over with the kids and everything back at Mexico. Like, oh yeah. Lots of awesome lucha libre throughout this match. Banger. And Dom Mysterio and Liv Morgan cut off the celebration. Dom calling his father a deadbeat. Dom trashing Octagon, who ain't having it. Brawling begins. Dom challenges Octagon to an Intercontinental title match at Money in the Bank later on in the day. Fuck yeah! All right, sweet. We'll add another match, a title match even. So that's cool. I always ask for more of those on my pay-per-view cards. So that's good. We move on to the next match. It is Chica, Tormenta, and Dalys versus Stephanie Vaquer and Lola Vice. Yeah. Chica with the cheap shot to Lola on the floor, and then we get dueling devil's kisses from Lola and Steph. The crowd doing the So that is got to be one of the most over moves in the business right now, if not the most over. People love themselves a devil kiss. Stephanie with the sweet counter nails the SVB for the win. Team NXT grabs the win. Solid fight. Some hard strikes, some nice teamwork here from Steph and Lola. I doubt they're not even on the same shows anymore, so I doubt that's going to continue to be a friendship that goes on moving forward here, but maybe another day. 6 out of 10. Solid little tag team match. Now we go to, what is this? Another trios tag team match. It's Dr. Wagner Jr., Psycho Clown, and Peñano versus Legados, Garza and Berto, and Santos Escobar. Clown with the 2-for-1 German suplex and a cool dive between the turnbuckles. Really nice. Really, really flashy. I'll give it a thumbs up. Fuck it. Pagano hard crash and burn to the floor. Like LWO just move out of the way, and he just gets all floor with his back and ass. Looks really painful. Garza also, insult to injury, just goes up to his face and laughs about it. That was hilarious. Legado double super military press slam. That's pretty awesome. Thumbs up. Clown and Pagano top rope dives. The Doctor senton off of the stairs. Holy jumping. Garza big tackle takes out a group. Even his own partner, he's down. Santos with the Super Rana gets the Psycho Driver on Wagner and grabs the win for Legato. Wow. All right. Super Rana from Santos, that might be the most lucha thing I've seen that guy do maybe ever. I was so hyped up for this guy when he showed up, and then he just proceeded to always let me down. Never have the big flashy matches I was hoping for. He's not the flashiest lucha out there. He's probably the least flashiest, and seeing him do a Super Rana, that was like, oh wow, he actually did a lucha thing. That was pretty good. A bit of sloppiness between spots, not the greatest chemistry all throughout, but still a good match, some nice high flying throughout. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. And now we got the fatal 4-way match for the North American Championship. Ethan Page defends against Laredo Kid, Javon Evans, and Rey Fenix. Rey shows Javon how bouncy he is with some really flashy rope work, jumping all over the place, loving it. Laredo and Phoenix, awesome dives to the outside. That's a thumbs up. Page top rope slam splash combo into a pop-up power slam. You go, Ethan. Thumbs up. We get a Kid with the Sweet Destroyer DDT on Rey. Javon, big air dive, clears the Spanish announce table, and then nails a beautiful big air springboard cutter. That's the thumbs up. Javon kicks out of the Phoenix driver. That might be the first time. And then we get a great Ego's Edge sending Rey across the ring. And Javon is there to make a epic diving save. Javon hits another beautiful cutter. Ethan throws out Javon, hits the twisted grin to retain. Oh, that's a banger. Banger and a half. Javon might be the best high flyer out there, man. Oh my goodness. Such big air, insane performance out of him. Phoenix nor Laredo Kid, any slouches in the high-flying department. They were also awesome. And Ethan, man, he was going off as well, hitting some big combos, big moves, awesome heel performance. He was always lurking, waiting to throw someone out and steal the pin. He did that like 3 or 4 times. 8.5 out of 10. That's a banger and a half. And now we're already at the main event. It is for the AAA Mega Championship. Vikingo defends against Chad Gable. Gable, beautiful counter out of a Uranagi. Just fucking so good. Vikingo with that insane 630, and he does it to the outside, man. Oh my goodness. Thumbs up for that. Vikingo anti-air codebreaker blocks Chad's headbutt. Chad wicked Razor's Edge driver and a super sit-out powerbomb. Vikingo able to kick out of that. Wow. Vikingo Radic diving destroyer on the apron. Chad is dead. Clinically dead for a second there. Thumbs up. That was amazing. Chad moonsaults Vikingo through a table, because why the hell not? Thumbs up. Vikingo diving twisting poison Rana. Amazing sell from Chad. Absolutely spikes himself. Thumbs up again. Vikingo running knees and the 630 splash. Pins and retains. Awesome main event right there. Vikingo and Chad. Amazing performances. Fantastic chemistry in the ring, mixing technical and lucha libre perfectly. Selling was top notch, like absolutely ridiculous. High flying was top notch. That 630 is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. 9 out of 10. And that was a highly enjoyable show featuring some of the best lucha-style wrestling in the world right now. Overall, NXT and WWE win 3-2 on the card, but, Vikingo AAA gets the big main event win, so, you could basically call it a wash, like, it's 50-50 booking the usual way. Really good videos as well throughout, showcasing the history of AAA and Lucha Libre. Like, I really like that. They were talking about Pena starting the company and all that stuff, and how he wanted to revolutionize Lucha Libre, make it more flashy and fun, but also maintaining the respect and all that stuff. Very well done show. 8.5 out of 10. And let me know what your favorite match of the night was. It's it's really close. I really love that main event match. The 4-way was also very, very good. So 1A, 1B right there. I guess I'll give the edge to Vikingo in the main event. But damn, I love Lucha Libre. Like that is what got me into wrestling, was Rey Mysterio, just doing the crazy shit that he does. And yeah, I've been pretty much a sucker, and I have been a sucker for Lucha Libre ever since. It's my favorite wrestling by far. All right, let's get into the next show. Where the heck is it? It's Money in the freaking Bank, baby. One of my favorite shows of the year. Will it live up to the hype? Only one way to find out. Obviously, they're spending the whole weekend in LA, so they're still in LA. 17,000 plus in attendance. I believe it's sold out at the Kia Forum, where the Los Angeles Kings and the Lakers and all that stuff play, I think. All right, and we're starting with the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. We got Roxanne Perez, Alexa Bliss, Stephanie Vaquer, Julia, Naomi, and Rhea Ripley. Going into this match, I was rooting for Roxanne Perez to win this one. My wife selected Naomi to win. Let's get into it. Rhea Ripley using Bliss as a battering ram to take out Naomi. I like that. Roxanne counter Rana's Rhea into the ladder plus the lion salt. And then Ripley just gets buried under a pile of ladders. We won't see her for a while. Stephanie climbing the ladder with Julia on her back. Very impressive. She doesn't go all the way up, but she comes back down. They start fighting. Anyway, that was cool. Julia, sweet spider suplex off of the ladder. That's a thumbs up. That was nicely done. Looked painful. Rhea slams Julia face first into the ladder. How you doing? Stephanie doing the devil's kiss on the ladder. The crowd is loving it. That was a very well done spot right there. Very creative. Good use of the ladder. Thumbs up. Bliss and Roxanne dueling code reds on the ladder, but it takes forever to set that thing up. They kept looking back at each other like, okay, we're going to do it. Wait, hold on, wait. And then they do it, and it's like, all right, like, it was good, but not great. Like, it was a good spot. Naomi shoves the ladder, knocking Rhea and Bliss off of it. Naomi retrieves the briefcase to win Money in the Bank. A bit of an underwhelming match right here. Biggest spot, I guess, would be the dueling code reds, and that just took forever for them to set it up, and it just didn't pay off the way I think they wanted it to. It was fine. It just didn't like wow the crowd. They weren't going like, holy shit, or anything like that. It was just kind of like, and then we move on. Rhea literally buried for probably more than half the match. I didn't even know, like, she wasn't there for a lot of it. Lots of future matches getting teased for a lot of the newcomers. Julia pretty much interacting with everybody is like a potential, Rox versus Rhea Ripley especially. That one they were pushing a lot. I loved Stephanie's Devil's Kiss on the ladder. That was probably my favorite spot of the whole match here. But I didn't see any real breakout performances, I was really expecting, there's so many kind of newcomers here in this match, and no one really broke out. I thought Julia and Roxanne were good, but no one was really great running away with it. Not the way that I believe Tiffy had a really big breakout performance. I know she did an Elimination Chamber, that's for sure, but yeah, I was really hoping for Steph, Julia, Roxanne, one of them to grab it and run away with it. And my wife getting it right. She chooses Naomi. I completely forgot Naomi was even in it at first. I thought Liv Morgan was in, and I was like, wait a second, who am I missing? It's Naomi. So, yeah, I am good with Naomi winning the match. I think that's fine. She's she's got a big new push going, new heel run, and she's got a whole new outfit, whole new aura. So yeah, that's gonna help her out a lot. Hopefully, they have been pushing the 100% success rate on the women's Money in the Bank a lot. So kind of leading me to believe that Naomi is going to fail and be the first woman to fail cashing in the Money in the Bank. We'll see how that goes. It's always part of the fun of Money in the Bank, trying to figure out when's the right time to cash it in, on who, and like all that stuff. So we'll see. We'll see how that one goes, but let me know how you feel about Naomi winning Money in the Bank. Is she a good choice, bad choice? Whatever choice, I think she's a good choice. I think that's fine. Personally, I think Roxanne would have been the best choice. You add that Money in the Bank into the Judgment Day formula, and that's just going to cause a whole bunch of chaos, Like, I don't know. I just think it would have been really cool to have Liv and Roxanne kind of fighting over power of Judgment Day and Dom and I think that would, they don't need it though. That's the thing. They already have a good dynamic. The Money in the Bank just would add more flavor. So yeah, I can see that decision making. But anyway, Jade Cargill arrives and hold on. Never mind. She does not arrive. My bad. My suggestion. Jade Cargill and maybe Bianca will maybe get involved. Maybe they that's a plan for another day. But if they don't decide they like Naomi to have the Money in the Bank and they want to do something else, you can easily shift it to Jade Cargill or Bianca. They're already in a feud with each other, so maybe somehow they convince Naomi to put it on the line and she loses it. Who knows? So there's some options there. There's some options. But underwhelming. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. It wasn't I don't know. There wasn't anything really memorable about that one. All right, let's move on to the next match. It's the Intercontinental Championship match that got booked earlier on the Worlds Collide show. It's Dirty Dom Mysterio with Liv defending against Octagon Jr. And Dom coming out wearing a mask, he rips it off, throwing it on the ground, and just all that disrespect to the maximum. Unreal. Liv distracting Octagon. Dom nails a 619 frog splash combo and retains. What? That's it. Short match. Kind of felt like just a regular SmackDown, match. Nothing crazy. The shenanigans, felt just like a SmackDown match. Octagon, small showcase. You didn't really get a lot in. Didn't really look all that amazing. Dom looked pretty strong, trash-talking the AAA superstars that were in the front row. He's talking shit and screaming at them. So he looked good there. He was in control. And he won pretty handedly. But this match was, 5 out of 10. We got Chad Gable telling the Creeds to put this huge fireball ladder underneath the ring for Grande Americano later, so that'll play. There's a lot of liquor sponsorships in WWE right now. They got like Wheatley vodka, they got Fireball, and I'm like, whoa, that's I'm used to them having like, Snickers and Skittles and like candy and shit. Now they're doing booze. All right, you can tell The Rock is getting involved here. I'm surprised he's not pushing his own tequila. All right, women's Intercontinental Championship match is up next. It's Lyra Valkyria defending against Becky Lynch, and this is Becky's final chance at going after Lyra for the Intercontinental Championship. She doesn't win, she doesn't get any more chances, so I don't really like when they do that because it kind of makes it a little bit predictable, but let's see what happens. Lyra, nice superplex fisherman buster combo. Lyra, stiff spinning heel kick, locks in a unique single crab. Almost a ankle lock kind of situation. I don't know, it was weird. Becky draped over the bare leg drop. How you doing? Lynch with the Superman handle slam. Lyra able to kick out of that. Lyra gets planted with a mean manhandle slam on the floor. That did not look like it didn't hurt. You know what I'm saying? That shit hurts. Lyra answers with a Nightwing on the floor, and both women are down. Both women barely making it back into the ring, and then they start swinging, getting into a hockey fight. Lyra with a nice counter, but Becky counters the counter into a pin. She grabs the tights. And new Women's Intercontinental Champion, it's the man, Becky Lynch. Oh, wow. Like I said, when they do these, this is your final chance. Kind of pretty almost guarantees that they're going to win that championship so they can keep it going. Especially with this rivalry, like you knew it wasn't over. So I kind of knew that Becky was going to win this one, and she does. So that takes away from the fun for me in this match a little bit. But another really good entry into this feud. Hard-hitting match, nice counters and near falls. The chemistry is there. Some nice high spots. Yeah, and the finish, it's a good finish to make sure that they're going to keep it, they're going to run it back again. And I'm fine with that. We're going to have to put in more stipulations. I don't know, street fight, falls count anywhere, something like that's bound to be incoming at some point. Maybe a last woman standing match would work really nicely between these two. I could see that happening. But good match, 7.5 out of 10. As part of the deal, Lyra must raise Becky's hand as the victor. Becky being a real poor sport, she makes Lyra do it in all four corners. She's like, take me all over here. And then Becky is like, put the belt around my waist. And Lyra does it. Then she plants the champion with a suplex. And yes, looks like the feud ain't over yet. That's for sure. All right, looks good. Now we get to the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. It's Penta, Solo Sikoa, Seth Rollins, Andrade, Grande Americano, and LA Knight. Yeah, I chose LA Knight. Going with the hometown, the favorite. You got third time's the charm. I was like, I'm sold. Let's do it. LA Knight this time. I felt like LA Knight, this is the only way he's probably going to win a world championship in WWE. So I chose LA Knight. My wife chose Seth Rollins. Let's see how it goes. We got Michael Cole on a mission to prove Gable is Grande Americano on commentary. Pat and Wade also on a mission to shut that shit down. They're like, nope. Every time Cole has like a really good point, he's like, hey, Gable's arm is wrapped up the same spot that Americano's arm is wrapped up. They're like, what? Two wrestlers can't have an elbow injury? Like, shut the fuck up. I loved it. That dynamic was hilarious throughout. Thumbs up for that. All right, to the match. Seth and Solo getting picked on. Solo with some funny reactions there. Penta dive wipes out everybody. Rollins with the pedigreed for Penta and a stomp for Solo. Andrade sunset powerbomb off of the ladder. Rollins superplex hard onto the ladder. How you doing? Thumbs up for that. Looked hella painful. And he caught like the corner of it. Ooh. Penta ruins Andrade with a destroyer on the ladder. They nailed that so perfectly. Lovely. Thumbs up. Grande wrecks everybody with his special fireball ladder. All right. Grande, awesome launch using the ladder. Nails the steel headbutt. Oh, baby. Thumbs up. Plexes Grande off of the ladder. I don't even know how they pulled that off. They were like in the corner. I don't even know. They had such little space. They got it done. Scared the hell out of me, but they nailed it. Rollins yells for his backup, the Bronsons. Bronsons lay waste to everybody. Super spear, tsunamis, all that noise. Jacob Fatu and JC Mateo arrive to put a stop to the Bronsons. Fatu pop-up Samoan drop to Reed, plus a dive. The crowd is going banana. Thumbs up. Solo is all alone climbing the ladder, and it happens. Jacob Fatu grabs Solo and tells Sikoa, I hate you. Fatu turns. He kicks Sikoa's head off. Oh, fuck yeah, it happened. Fatu delivering a spinning Solo to Solo through a freaking ladder. How you doing? Thumbs up. Solo using his elbow to break the fall. That's probably a bad decision. That is going to hurt tomorrow. Knight BFT countered. Seth delivers a stomp and retrieves the briefcase. Seth frickin' Rollins wins Money in the Bank again. What is that, his third time now? But a very enjoyable match. Solo bringing the comedy all throughout. Well done from him. What I didn't love was Revolution and Bloodline hijacking the match for like 5 to 7 minutes, where it was just them. No one from the match was like there. They're all just laying down, just waiting. And I was like, nah, I don't love that. So that didn't go over very well for me. Fatu turn, that does make it better. So you get a good payoff there with the turn. Great action in the first half of the match. Lots of big painful ladder bumps. Good tension to it. Like, I really didn't know who was going to win it, but my wife, again, she nails it. Seth frickin' Rollins gets it done. And I mean, I feel like that's the safe decision. You know, you got the big new powerful group here, and I would guess it's inevitable that Seth Rollins is going to cash it in successfully again. How can he not? Like, he's got all this power. Like, yeah, I think Seth's going to get it done. He's going to get that championship. Just who's he going to cash in on? Is he going to cash in on John Cena? I doubt it. So, Jey Uso, watch your back. All right, 7.5 out of 10 for that Money in the Bank. And now we got the main event. It's a tag team match. Not my favorite, but let's do it. Main event. Logan Paul and John Cena teaming up against Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes. We get into the match. John Cena is avoiding Cody Rhodes at any cost. He's like, nope, not fighting that guy. No way. Jey counters out of the FU into a choke. Logan and John arguing with each other leads to some shoving. Oh dear. Meanwhile, Jey finally makes the hot tag to Cody. That was hilarious. He's just slowly crawling and they're too busy arguing with each other. Great stuff. We get the knockout punch and an FU. Jay is there to make the save. Logan accidentally splashing his own partner Cena, and then he gets speared by Jay. Everybody is down. Logan nails Cody with a pulverizer, summons his drone for some reason instead of making the cover. Probably could have won right there. Cody recovers, hits a superplex with Jey Uso falling with a splash, and we get all of that from the drone. There were some good parts to that and some bad parts. Some of the footage was good, pretty interesting. You never see angles like that. And then some of it was just like, I'm not really, all I see is a hand right now. So, I don't know, kind of a half thumbs up. It was very creative, but didn't quite hit. Anyway, Cena's FU hits to Jay and Cody. We get a near fall. Jay spears Cena onto the announce table. Logan with the springboard moonsaults Jay through the announce table. Now, that's what I'm talking about. Where was that big spot in the last match you had? Freaking Logan. Thumbs up, though. I'll give you a thumbs up. Ref too busy checking on Logan. Cena clocks Cody with the belt. And then a hooded figure appears attacking John Cena. Who could it be? It's our freaking truth. Oh my goodness. Crowd is losing it. Cody nails Cena with a crossroads and the good guys win. Yeah. Really entertaining main event. Slow start. Really slow start. Just a very typical, normal tag team match going on, but then the finish was really, really strong. Liking the Cena student-teacher dynamic with Logan Paul. That's pretty good. I hope they keep that up. Because John, just yelled at him at one point. He's like, I'm trying to teach you! It's just, good, really good stuff. Good usage of shenanigans, didn't overload the match, and that fucking R-Truth reveal was amazing. So was that, all fake? Was that release, just part of the story, it's not true, or did they call an audible bring the crowds have been cheering and chanting for Truth all week. Let's bring them in for this match and do something with them because the crowd will lose it. So I hope R-Truth is back and is not fired. That would be great. But that was a lot better than I expected. Granted, the bar was pretty low. I do not like tag team matches like this for a main event, but it actually delivered pretty good. 7.5 out of 10. And that's the show. I will say a shaky start. The women's Money in the Bank just wasn't it for me this year. It wasn't bad. It just wasn't really good. I was looking for a big breakout performance in that match. I didn't get it. No one really grabbed the spot and took it. So it was some good performances, but nothing stand out. Men's Intercontinental Championship was way too short. Basically didn't even really need to have that match. It just wasn't worth it. The men's Money in the Bank was good. It would have been great without the long hiatus in the middle, but it is what it do. We get a good payoff there anyway with the Fought 2 turn. Main event over-delivered for me. Was way better than I expected. Crowd was mostly energetic. Commentary was on fire tonight. Really good work from Michael, Pat, and Wade. Overall, underwhelming Money in the Bank. Kind of falling into the WWE new trend of good but not great. You know what I'm saying? And I've heard that Triple H doesn't like Money in the Bank, so I don't know if he's just struggling to make a compelling match without, just using the same stuff from previous Money in the Bank matches. I don't know. So, but this was a bit of an underwhelming show. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. It was good, not great, which is, again, a very kind of a standard formula right now for WWE and their pay-per-views. Yes, we're getting slightly better weekly programming, which is great. For a while there, it was unviewable. It was barely watchable for years, and now it's very viewable. But now the pay-per-views aren't as awesome as they used to be. So I don't know. I want them to take a step further in their pay-per-views. Go to that next level. Do that big extra crazy spot. Make it worth it. Make me remember the pay-per-view. There's not really much I'm going to remember from this Money in the Bank. I can barely remember who won it. It's Naomi and Seth Rollins wins. So probably within a week, I wouldn't remember that. So it was a pretty forgettable Money in the Bank. Nothing too crazy going on there. But again, not bad. Not bad. I can't call it bad. So there's that. So let me know what you thought of the show. Did you think it was, am I wrong? Was the Money in the Bank a lot better than I'm giving it credit for? I will say, I do grade these shows on a curve, especially pay-per-views. The bar is set a lot higher for pay-per-views because, people are spending good money on these things. You're spending good, 3 hours of your weekend on these shows. Like, yeah, I want it to be, the bar better be set higher. And I put the bar lower for weekly programming because it's weekly programming. Like, there's only so much you could do in a week and come up with some great stuff. So I grade on a curve. I definitely am harder on the pay-per-views, but I think they should be. I want more. Anyway, that's my opinions on that. Favorite match? Oh, geez. I think Men's Money in the Bank would be my favorite. It was really good. It's just that long hiatus just really took me out of the match for a while. Felt like a whole different thing going on there for a while. I was like, is this even Money in the Bank anymore? What's going on? Anyway, that was my favorite match, and a pretty good weekend of wrestling. I really enjoyed Worlds Collide. I don't know if I scored it, but it's an 8.5, which is really high. That's one of the highest rated pay-per-views of the year so far. It didn't feel as long. It kind of flew by. It was really enjoyable for me, especially if you like lucha. If you can only pick one, I mean, I would choose Worlds Collide. That shit was pretty good. I did watch Hard to Kill, most of it. It was good as well. Like, I don't watch it in the same way that I just, I'm playing games and stuff. I'm just watching it, doing stuff on this. That's kind of background noise, but it was good. And so that's another big weekend of wrestling down. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Let me know what your favorite matches were. How'd you do on your predictions? Did you do good? I did not. I did not do very good this year at all. I did not have my finger on the button this time around. But pretty good weekend of wrestling, all said and done. I enjoyed it, but could have been better, all said and done. Anyway, that's another episode down. Thank you so much for listening. You the best. You want to be even more of the best, make sure you're reviewing and sharing the podcast around wherever you're listening. If you're on Spotify, you can drop a comment on the episodes. Want a question answered live on the podcast, anything about wrestling, video games, or hacky would be preferred, drop a comment. I upload all these episodes to the YouTube channel, Gamer GX Videos. The link's in the description. Drop a comment there. That's another good spot. Twitter as well. You can message me on there. I got a Twitter page. Try to put up announcements as best as I can, all that jazz. And yeah, in terms of what else we got going on with the podcast this week, going to have the Hockey Cast. Stanley Cup Finals are underway, and they have been awesome so far, so going to be talking about that. The other news that's going around the NHL, and breaking down some more off-season teams and see what they should be doing next, and all that great stuff. And with the GamerCast, it's going to be rather Switch appreciation episode, or I'm going to be breaking down the PlayStation Showcase, Xbox Showcase, and SGF, the Summer Games Fest, a whole bunch of new games shown off and all that great stuff. So maybe I'll go through that and discuss all the new stuff that's coming out. Even though I am not an up-to-date gamer, I try not to get hyped about games coming out because I'm not going to get to them for a very, very, very long time. Even when they come out, I'm still not going to probably play them for a year or two. I have a huge backlog. I have a huge list of games that I want to get to before I get to new games. So yeah, I am not a new, but I still appreciate a good new announcement. There were some announcements made that I was like, ooh, there were some good ones. So yeah, maybe we'll react to that and we'll do the Switch the next week, but just keep your eye out, follow along, and there'll be something there for you for sure. So there we go, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. You the best, and we'll be back again with some GX Bloodgate.